What's up everybody, how's it going? This video is going to be a very fun video and hopefully a very useful one. I'm going to be sharing with you the best technique that I know of to learn any new programming language extremely fast. Now some of you may have seen a video that I made a little while ago where I explained how I learned Python back in 2017 in just 10 days, and in that video I actually shared the same technique that I'm going to be sharing in this video. However, the one difference is that today, in this video, I'm actually going to be applying or demoing the technique live on myself. I'm going to be learning a new programming language that I've never learned before, that I've never written code in before. It's going to be Golang, Go, and I'm going to be doing it all live right now, or I guess recorded in this video, but live for me. You get the idea, all for your entertainment. So without further ado, let's jump right into the technique. The technique is very simple. All that you have to do is, number one, pick your programming language. And here I should mention that this is really geared for people who already know how to program, who already know one programming language. If you are completely new, like this is your very first programming language that you're learning right now, this technique might be a little bit too advanced. I think that you can still watch the video and you'll pick up some useful pieces of advice or useful practices, but this is really geared for people who already know one programming language and who want to learn a second one or a third one. But so pick your programming language. I'm picking Golang right now, and all that you're going to do is dozens upon dozens upon dozens of coding interview problems. That's right, you're going to be doing a ton of coding interview problems in a language that you don't know how to write in, and whenever you encounter something that you do not know how to do in your programming language of choice, and this is going to happen very frequently at the beginning, you are going to look it up. You are going to use your very good friend Google.com to look it up. How to declare variables, how to use classes, how to instantiate a bunch of different data structures. You get the idea. Anything and everything, you're just going to Google it, and this is how you're going to learn that new programming language. Now you might be wondering, why coding interview problems? Why don't I just jump into some project? Well, the nice thing about coding interview problems is that, first of all, they're kind of handed to you on a silver platter. Like the code that you're going to have to write is basically given to you because you have the problem that you have to solve, and you can kind of figure out the different programming paradigms or programming tools that you're going to need to solve the problem. And provided that you do a good variety of problems, you're probably going to have to do at least 50 problems, even closer to 100 problems. But if you do enough that cover enough of a breadth of different kinds of problems, you're going to have covered the grand majority of the foundational blocks of your programming language. You're going to have covered, of course, loops, conditional statements, functions, variables, all that good stuff. You will have covered the majority of the popular data structures that you're going to encounter in your everyday life. You're going to know how to define classes. All of that stuff you will do if you do enough coding interview problems. Now, of course, the main caveat here is that you will not become a master of whatever programming language you've chosen in just a few days. No, certainly not. You won't be able to write super complex software in that programming language. However, you will develop very quickly a very good command of the language, and you'll then be able to start more complicated projects, and you'll have that language very well tamed. You will be very well versed in that language. So now, enough talking, let's jump into the demo. I'm going to do a couple of coding interview problems to learn Golang for your entertainment and your education, of course. And the platform that we're going to do these coding interview problems on is going to be, you guessed it, my company, AlgoExpert, algoexpert.io. And by the way, if you're wondering if this is just some elaborate advertisement for my company to show you that AlgoExpert is a great platform where you can prepare for coding interviews, and even to mention that we've got Systems Expert, which is our systems design offering that helps prepare you for systems design interviews. If you think that this is just an advertisement to plug in this product, well, you'd be partially correct. But with that, let's actually jump into the problems. We are going to do two problems. These are two of the free problems on the platform. Largest range and river sizes. So let's start with largest range. We're going to pick our language to be Golang and not JavaScript. And so very quickly, the prompt of this problem says that you're given an array, like this array here. You've got a bunch of numbers, and you want to find the largest range of consecutive numbers that is contained in the array. They don't have to be consecutive in the array, but in the sort of set of real numbers, they have to be consecutive. So the answer for this array would be 0 to 7, because you've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Where's 7? Here. Now, I should mention that I've done these problems many times before, so from an algorithmic point of view, they're not super challenging to me. It will be interesting to see if I can remember how to do them or if I can resolve them on the spot. It really isn't that important whether you've done the problems before or not. You can use this technique either way. If you haven't done the problems, it'll be a little bit more challenging because you'll have to also solve them algorithmically. And if you have done the problems, then that's fine. It'll be much easier, and you'll just be basically transcribing solutions into your programming language of choice, and that's fine too. But so, okay, let's try to write this. I'm going to full screen the code so that we can really see it. Clearly, functions in Golang are written as func. Okay, that's one thing, and apparently we capitalize the function name. So let's just start. I have never written Go in my life before. I don't know how to do this. So the way that I'm going to solve this algorithmically is I think I'm going to dump every single number in a hash table, and this hash table is going to basically tell us if the numbers have been visited or not. I'm going to iterate through the entire array, and every number we're going to try to expand to the left and to the right in a set of real numbers to see if other numbers are in the hash table. If they are, then we're going to have a bigger and bigger and bigger range. We're going to keep track of the largest one, probably in some array that has the first number and the last number. That's what we have to return. Okay, so we probably want to start by dumping every number in a hash table. So let's see, how do we have a hash table in Golang? I have no idea. So I'm going to Google it. How to create a hash table in Golang. So Go data structures, hash tables. Let's see. I don't really like this. Let's go back. Let's see if we can find like the official documentation. So golang.org, Go maps in action. Okay, so a Go map looks like this. Yeah, hash table, many hash table implementations. Okay, Go map. So var m map string to int. And so to initialize a map, you use the built-in make function. So m equals make. Okay, we'll just copy this. And then apparently you can just dump them like this. Okay, so we'll go back to Algo Expert and we'll do something like var. Or no, did they say var? No, they didn't say var. Okay, so they said just m equals a make, so we'll call this like visited. Make map string to int. So I don't think I want to store strings. I think I want to store ints to bools. Bool, okay, so it's bool, not boolean. Okay, that's good. This is going to store every number. So now we want to iterate through all the numbers in our array and dump them in this hash table. So let's see, how do we do a for loop? Golang for loop. Okay, I want the actual documentation. I like this. Is golang.org the actual documentation? I think it is, right? How do I search? Let's see, for loops. No, for Go, maybe? No. Oh, I see a for loop here. So let's just go with this. For I equals I plus 1 if I greater than 5 breaks. Okay, probably there's okay, so you can do, this is interesting here. Why is there a colon, but here there isn't a colon? Okay, let's just go with this. So we'll do, let's go back to Algo Expert. So we'll do for I equals 0. I'm not sure why they have a colon here. Maybe we're going to need a colon up here. Maybe like the first time you declare a variable, you need a colon. But so for I equals 0, I less than equal to 10. So we want to go all the way to the length of the array. So less than array.length. Let's see, how do we array length going? Okay, how do I find the size of the array in Go? I've tried the len function. So arrays in Go are fixed size. Once you create an array in Go, you can't change the size later. The length of an array value is always 100, which can be queried using the built-in function len. Okay, so we can use len. So len of array, and then we'll do I++. This seems fine. And then here we're going to do visited. And here, how did they do it? I think they said m route equals 66. And here, okay, so we'll do visited of array at I, right? Because we're grabbing the number in the array, equals, it's false because it's not visited. Okay, so this is a lowercase f because this is highlighted, so this means that it's correct. So now we've dumped every number in a hash table, which apparently we declare with make, map, and then the types. Whoops. And then, now what do we want to do? We want to iterate through every number in the array, and at each number, like I said, expand with while loop so long as we have numbers in the hash table. So it'll be something like, I guess, another for loop. For I equals 0, I guess. I less than len of array, I plus plus. So we do this for loop, and we say current num equals array at I. And let me just look up here how to declare a variable in Golang. So variables, Golang, so var a equals initial. Okay, so just var, so you do need var. That's why I had, oh, okay, wait. The colon equals syntax is shorthand for declaring and initializing a variable. Okay, so I see. So you don't need var. That's why I had var. I think I saw var on the previous page. So you don't need var if you use this colon equals. So we do need the colon equals up here, I think. And so here we'll do current num colon equals array at index I. And then we need 2 while loops. We need a left num. So left num equals current num minus 1. We're going to go to the left in the set of real numbers. And then right num equals, and I guess we need colon equals for both of these. Colon equals current num minus or plus 1 because we're going to the right. And then we need 2 while loops that are going to keep expanding to the left and to the right, these two numbers, so long as they are in our hash table. And I guess I should first check, like, if, so how do we do if statements? I want to check if my current num has already been visited. If it has, I want to skip it. So here I think they told us, I think we can just access like the map like this, right? So we can probably just do if visited at current num, presumably, equals true. I'll just say equals, I'm assuming it's double equals true to be explicit. If visited current num equals true, then continue. Okay, continue seems like it's the correct keyword here. So if we visited the current number, we continue. Otherwise, we go here. And now we need 2 while loops. So let's see. So we'll do while. Okay, so while is not highlighting. So let's see. While loop Golang. For is goes while. Okay, interesting. And this is golang.org. I like this. So for is goes while. At that point, you can drop the semicolon. For sum less than 1,000, sum plus equals sum. Okay, so cool, interesting. So Golang does not have while loops. You use a for loop with a condition. So this will be for, so long as left. Wait, did they have a parentheses? No, they don't have parentheses. So for left num, what am I looking for? So long as the left num is in the hash table, so long as visited of left num is equal to true. And here, what is it? It's brackets. So what are the brackets going to be? We are going to decrement left num. So left num minus equal to 1. I'm assuming you can do that. And if we can do that, we'll try to run code and see if it passes. And what do we need to do? Is there anything else we need to do? I don't think we need to do anything else because we don't need to track the length of the range here. We could do it. I think that's how I do it in the actual solution for AlgoExpert, but we can just calculate at the very end. So I'm just going to keep decrementing this. And then we'll do the same thing for the right number. So for visited. Wait, what am I doing? Why am I checking if they're visited? I don't want to check if they're visited. I want to check if they're in the hash table. I'm trying to check if the numbers are in the hash table in constant time. So let me actually check how to check if a key is in a map in Golang. 3 ways to find a key in a map. Okay, how to check if a map contains a key. So if, one line answer, if val, OK, dict, foo. If statements in Go can include both a condition and initialization statement, so initialize 2 variables, OK will receive a bool. Okay, interesting. So in Golang, okay, so let's do this. So this is not what I'm looking for. So for, but this is interesting. How are we going to continuously, okay, wait, so here if val, okay, so I guess I'll just copy this. I'll just copy this like this. So for val OK, not dict, but not visited. Yes, visited of left num OK. So long as OK is true here, we don't need this val, so I'll call it an underscore. Then left num minus equal to 1, and I think we'll put visited left num to be equal to true. Then we'll do the exact same thing. I'll just copy paste this. And then we're gonna say, once we no longer have numbers in the hash table, we are going to compare the right num and the left num and their difference to whatever we have currently tracked as the longest range or the largest range. So we're going to need an array or a tuple of length 2. So let's see, Golang tuple. Pair tuple data type in Golang. There's no tuple in Go. Okay. Can we do an array of length 2? Do a pair. Is there no simpler way to do this? Golang array of length 2. Arrays. Okay, so var a5. Here we create an array that will hold exactly 5 ints. Okay, this is exactly what we want. So so here, up here, we created the hash table, and here we'll do var a, and I'll call this largest range, colon equals, we don't need the var, colon equals 2. It's an array of length 2 of integers, and this is going to... Do we need parentheses in Golang? Golang if statement. If else Golang if... Okay, you don't need parentheses. So I'm going to remove this parentheses here. Okay, that's interesting. So if... And then we just return the largest range. Actually, low-key think that I might have this. Let's just YOLO run the code to see if it works. It's probably not going to work the first time, but let's just try it. So I'm going to minimize this, and let's run this. Oops, there was an issue with your code. Check the raw output. Okay, so it didn't compile. So syntax error, unexpected comma at line 1029. So here we've got a comma. So largest range 0. Oh wait, I meant to say largest range, what did I do? Largest range 0 equals, what did I do? Equals array of 0. And here largest range 1 equals array 0. That's what I meant to do. Okay, let's try to rerun this. Okay, another syntax error. Unexpected continue. So if, okay, maybe we can't do single line if statements. So let's do this, okay? And I would have to look that up to confirm that, but let's try this. Okay, unexpected at 19. Unexpected thing, expected semicolon or new line. Let me try a semicolon here and here. Type 2 int, okay, so looks like it kind of, okay, it almost compiled. Type 2 int is not an expression. Var largest range equals, okay, because this is a type. Okay, so where was the thing that told us? So var array, okay, so this is how you instantiate an array. So you specify the type, but then you have to pass it and apparently use brackets. Okay, so then what I can do is I can do array of 0, array of 1. Let's just comment this out for now. So let's run this. Cannot use largest range as type int in return statement. Oh, because our return statement is an int array, not an array of length 2. What if I do, let's just do this then. Your code ran out of memory. Okay, so then that means that these for loop, okay, so this is good. This means that, let me see, if I comment this out, I'm pretty sure this is gonna run. Yeah, okay, so if I comment this out, then we fail. So these are running out. They are becoming crazy. So what do? Visited. So we said so long as, I guess what is going on here? How do we, are these for loops correct? Oh, by the way, I think these two lines here need to be before we decrement. This needs to be here, and this needs to be here. I don't think this is going to solve my issue here, but these two things need to be there. Okay, so how do we do this for loop? Okay, so quick update. I tried a bunch of things. I think my for loop was correct at the beginning like this. I still don't know why this is running infinitely, and I don't want to do the solution because I'm doing something a little bit different here. So I want to try to figure this out. I'm going to try to print inside the for loop to see if left num gets updated correctly and see if things are happening well. So I'm going to look at how to print in Go. How to print in Go. package format, import format. I'm gonna need to import a package. Okay, format printf. Ooh, this is a little bit gross, let me see. So import format, and here I'm trying to, let's say print, wait, what am I doing? Format print. Val declared and not use. Oh, here. Oh, does this, oh, okay, so this means that I literally am allowed to not use it. Interesting. False. Why is this false? Visited left num, array at index I. But what if I print visited of like, let's say 20? False. What the fuck is going on? This is taking way longer than I thought it was, but I'm learning a lot about Go, but so far it's a weird fucking language. Oh my god. Oh my god. This has something to do with the 0 value for the Boolean type, and the fact that maps have a 0 value retrieval when keys aren't present. In what world is this helpful? Okay, you know what? Instead of making it a map of Booleans, let me try doing this as a map of ints. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set everything to 0 as false. Then if visited equals to 1, continue. And then here I'll say visited equals to, we said 1 is true, so 1, and here 1. Okay, let's see if this works. Again! Let me break here. And here if I print this, okay, so it's false. So wait, so what if I print, I'm so confused. I think 0 is the 0 value of int. Let me do this one last time. Okay, you know what? We're gonna use strings. This is actually pissing me off. Okay, well, what we're gonna do. Why is it equal to 1? I'm not getting the 0 value thing. Golang map 0 value. It's the same shit. Okay, the 0 value is int. So then why is it 1 here? Okay, finally, I think my for loops were wrong. I think for loops, looks like I missed this. They have an init, statement, a condition, and a post. I think the way I was writing them was wrong. Oh my god, this is meant to be 0. Yes, okay, I passed the tests. Now I had a stupid typo here that was making me error out. Okay, I got it. Whew. Submit code. This only took like an hour and a half. Okay, but for real, this took like a ton of time, but I'm actually really happy. Like, I learned a ton of stuff. I learned how to create hash tables, for loops, while loops, initialize arrays, declare general variables, print stuff in Golang, though I don't really know this whole thing here. I'll need to look that up, the percentage v thing. Then I learned, if statements. I learned this goddamn thing about like 0 values in maps, and also realized that I made a big boo-boo with the for loops and how there are like 3 parts to them, and that's why it was broken. Overall, this video was clearly like a struggle. This took me almost 90 minutes, but hopefully it kind of shows you like the raw aspect of applying this technique and how some problems you'll like pull your hair out, especially at the very beginning when you're trying to understand the language. But now I've learned so much from this one problem, I'm sure I would be able to do 5 other similar ones much faster, and I'd be able to really solidify my knowledge of Golang and obviously do other problems that would teach me other parts of Golang and so on and so forth. All in all, I really, really do think that this technique is super good. Again, I just learned so much from this little time in absolute terms that I've spent doing these coding interview problems in Golang, and I hope that you'll apply this technique. Let me know if you do or if you have in the past. I'd love to hear about your results, and I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that you enjoyed watching me fail at Golang. If you did, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, follow me on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and I'll see you in the next video.